Everyone knows who Charles Lindbergh was because he took a flight from the United States to Europe in 1927. Big whoop. I've done it plenty of times, and in coach. But least you think Lindbergh was all that. There was this other guy, a ballsy guy, who showed Lindbergh up by accident. It was a mistake that took him 28 hours to make. It's Russ Woody again with my traveling bookshelf, and I know there are a couple of wrinkles in it, so just let up. In 1938, Douglas Corrigan bought a used plane. It was 10 years old, and it was called a Curtiss Robin. It was a rundown piece of crap. After he finished repairing it, the nose of the engine hood was pieced together with massive metal soldered patches. The door was fastened with a piece of baling wire. The reserve gas tanks that he installed left him so little room that he had to sit hunched forward with his knees cramped. And there wasn't enough window space to see the ground for landing. It was a wretched jalopy, is what some people called it, or, as I did, a piece of crap. Charles Lindbergh's plane, on the other hand, was specially constructed. Lots of money went into it because he had significant financial backing and significant friends. Corrigan had nothing but himself and his piece of crap. So in July of 1938, Corrigan took off from California in his piece of crap and flew cross-country to New York. Lots of people didn't think he'd even make it. Once there, he filed plans for a transatlantic flight. And for my cousin Carl, that's a flight across the ocean to the right, that ocean. Naturally, the aviation authorities laughed in his face and denied him permission to do so. They were like, no fucking way, dude. So he took off from New York, headed back to California in lousy weather. Unfortunately, when he got into the clouds, he accidentally headed out over the ocean towards Europe because he said his compass was old and didn't work, or a piece of crap. He said he didn't realize he was going the wrong way until 26 hours later. And after being in the air for 28 hours, he landed in Dublin, Ireland, where they were surprised to see him. A few days later, he took a ship back to the United States, where he was given a hero's welcome and became known throughout the world as Wrong Way Corrigan. This is how the New York Post printed the story on the front of their newspaper. Over 1 million people turned out for the ticker tape parade, more than the number of people who turned out for Lindbergh's parade. To his dying day, Corrigan maintained that it was an accident, the same way my aunt and uncle say Carl was.